Back in 2017, I uploaded a playthrough of an early build of Silent Hill Homecoming. In the years since, and its subsequent release to the public, I've had a desire to revisit this, and try to dig a little bit deeper into the build's origin and its normally inaccessible content. Footage from this build first started to appear in the spring of 2008 from various publications, such as this issue of German gaming magazine Maniac, which came with a DVD containing a few minutes of gameplay. Footage from this and similar outlets that got their hands on this build did little to impress the public, however, who were not happy to see the seemingly downgraded visuals and muddy textures compared to earlier coverage, as well as the strange redesign of the protagonist, Alex. In the months that followed, footage and screenshots emerged from newer builds showing an improvement to the visuals and a return to Alex's original design. This is the disc that the build came from, and while the date written here says May 2008, the files on the disc are actually dated the 3rd of April. That makes this build predate the game's release by 5 months. However, the retail game build was actually compiled in August, so technically it's 4 months. The build itself contains only 2 levels, M02 SG Town 1 and M03 Alex 1. That is in comparison to the retail game's 23 level files, and of course that includes all the different endings and the main menu level. And while I did attempt numerous times to import these levels from the retail game into the beta, sadly the early build is incompatible with the final game's data. It just crashes. Despite the missing levels, the build contains all of the pre-rendered cutscenes, audio, and subtitle files for the whole game. The build contains a config file called default PS3. Inside it, the game can be given a series of commands to run before startup. These include the ability to disable sound, disable subtitles, and various other developer options. If you disable the loading screen XML command, the game shows you exactly what it's doing whenever it tries to load an area. Pretty cool. But the main one that stuck out to me was a command called auto downres textures. I noticed it was set to a value of 512, and figured it might have something to do with the build's lackluster texture quality, so to test it, I set it to an extremely low value and booted the game. Yep, that certainly works. So I then disabled the command from running and booted the game again. Instantly you can tell that Alex's textures have been improved, along with many others. It seems that in an attempt to optimise the build on PS3 at the time, the devs set this command as a quick fix so the build could be played by the press. You can see why they set it, because if you attempt to enter Alex's house, the game actually crashes due to a memory issue, both on real PS3 and an emulator. I re-enabled the downres texture command and tested a number of accepted texture values. I found that if you set it to a value of 2048 or higher, the build would still crash upon entering Alex's house. However, if you set it to the next lowest resolution of 1024, the build would manage to load it without any issue, so we can see this area in slightly higher detail than default at least. Another command I tried is one called Costume Index. This spawns Alex into one of his 6 bonus costumes. There's his default outfit, young outfit, deputy outfit, big rig outfit, scrubs outfit, order soldier outfit, and the Pyramid Head outfit. One other thing to mention is that this build has a frame rate limit of 60. This differs from the final game's 30 FPS limit on all platforms. Of course, on a normal PS3 you wouldn't be hitting anywhere near 60 FPS anyway, but thanks to modern emulators we can see this build running at a nice smooth 60 FPS. This, combined with the better textures and increasing the internal rendering resolution beyond its intended 720p, the game suddenly looks leagues ahead of how it did back in 2008. Now, you may have noticed that Alex has his radio equipped in this footage. Normally he doesn't get this until later in the game, way past where we can get to in this build. He has it now because using a hex editor on the global.pack file, I figured out how to edit a file called character variations, which controls his appearance throughout the course of the game. Also, along with a file called variable definitions, which controls the status of various in-game events, so I can enable the functionality of his radio early. To go even further, if I edit enough of these settings, as soon as I enter Alex's house, I suddenly have the flashlight, the basement doors already open, and the monster's dead, all before I'd even arrived. In this build, there is a back door to Alex's house that is strangely disabled. You can access it in the final game, but here the prompt to open it has been turned off. By changing some of those settings in the variable definitions file, the door is now able to be used.
Josh! What are you doing? Relax, Dad. We're just making a radio show.
Alex, go downstairs.
Why?
Just do it.
Fine.
Am I in trouble?
No, of course not.
Why are you yelling?
I'm not yelling at you. Listen to me, Josh. Don't you think this is a little too silly for you? Do you want to end up like Alex, playing all this make-believe?
I don't know.
Alright, from now on, just let Alex play with his own friends, okay? And if you need a friend, you come talk to me. Got it?
Yes, sir!
Messing around with the files some more, I managed to find a janky way to change item spawns. It allows me to get the attic key early, so we can explore in there as well. The bookcase blocking the door has no interact prompt, however, and despite my best efforts, I never found a way to get past it, so that's as far as we can explore here. I tested a number of other item spawns too. I could spawn weapons, but most were invisible upon being equipped, and some others just crash the game if you even try to open your inventory. The ones that I did manage to spawn were the fire axe, Pulaski axe, crowbar, ceremonial dagger, pistol, chrome hammer pistol, shotgun, blue steel shotgun, assault rifle, police marksman rifle, circular saw, and finally, the laser pistol. The laser pistol was the only gun I could actually equip, but it doesn't seem to actually fire. I tried spawning an axe in the town hall to try to break down the wooden boards blocking the door. And while you are able to break the boards, the door has no prompt to open it. I couldn't get in here. I also tried a few ways of getting into Dr. Fitch's office, but unfortunately had no success with that either. So that's as far as I got. It is likely that this build has more to be discovered. The obvious thing to do would just be extract all of the models from the game and look through them. Tools for the PC version do exist that let you do that, but those don't work with any of the console files, let alone a pre-release build. So unless there's a concise effort from the community to create new tools for this build, we're out of luck. I hope you've enjoyed the video and a deeper look into this build. If you missed it, the build is available for download in the description, the link's in there. If you are a tool maker and you happen to make tools to extract the files from this game and look through them, please feel free to let me know and share it in the comments. And if anybody finds anything interesting in this build, please let us know and share it. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.